Hello, and welcome back to Crime Scene Archives. Today, we're diving into a case that feels like it was ripped straight from a Hollywood script, a story of immense wealth, cutting-edge technology, and a crime that baffled investigators. But behind the doors of one particular luxury townhouse, a digital revolution was taking place. Its occupant was a young, brilliant, and notoriously private tech guru who had amassed a fortune in crypto. To his neighbors, he was just a quiet guy who kept to himself. In the online world, he was a legend, known for his uncanny ability to predict the market. He lived a life of digital luxury, his wealth existing not in banks, but on the blockchain. Then, one morning, the silence of the neighborhood was broken. A frantic call to emergency services reported a disturbance at the townhouse. When police arrived, they found a scene of chaos. The front door was forced, furniture was overturned, and expensive electronics were smashed. But what was most alarming was what was missing. It wasn't the art on the walls or the designer furniture. The target was something much more valuable and much less tangible. The tech guru was gone, and so was his crypto fortune, seemingly vanished into thin air. The initial investigation was a dead end. There were no witnesses, and the security cameras had been expertly disabled. The crime scene was a mess, but it offered few traditional clues. Fingerprints were scarce, and DNA evidence was non-existent. It was as if the perpetrators were ghosts. The police were dealing with a new breed of criminal, one that understood both physical and digital security. This wasn't a simple robbery. It was a high-tech heist. The main question was this a kidnapping for ransom or something far more complex? The breakthrough came from an unexpected source: the digital breadcrumbs the victim left behind. While the perpetrators were careful, they overlooked one crucial detail. The victim was a meticulous record keeper. Investigators, with the help of cybersecurity experts, began to piece together his digital life. They sifted through encrypted drives and fragmented data, slowly building a picture of his activities in the weeks leading up to his disappearance. What they found was a web of secret online forums, anonymous transactions, and coded messages. It turned in, he wasn't just a trader. He was part of an exclusive, underground group of crypto pioneers. This group operated under a strict code of anonymity, communicating through heavily encrypted channels. They shared insights, collaborated on projects, and occasionally engaged in high-stakes digital rivalries. Investigators realized the key to solving the case wasn't on the streets, it was hidden in the blockchain. The challenge was immense. Cryptocurrency transactions are designed to be anonymous. Tracing the stolen funds would be like finding a specific grain of sand on a digital beach. The cyber forensics team worked around the clock, using cutting-edge techniques to analyze the blockchain. They were looking for patterns, anomalies, anything that could lead them to the stolen funds. It was a painstaking process, but eventually they found it: a tiny, almost imperceptible flaw in one of the transactions. The thieves had made a mistake. In their haste to move the cryptocurrency, they had used an obscure digital exchange that had a security vulnerability. This was the opening the investigators needed. With a court order, they gained access to the exchange's records. Layer by layer, they peeled back the anonymity of the accounts involved. They traced the digital money trail across multiple countries and dozens of shell accounts. The trail eventually led them not to a shadowy hacking collective, but to a former business partner of the victim. It was a man the victim had trusted, someone who had been part of his inner circle from the very beginning. The motive was simple and timeless: greed and jealousy. The partner felt he had been cheated out of his fair share of their early ventures and had plotted an elaborate revenge. He had hired a team of skilled criminals to execute the physical break-in, a distraction designed to make it look like a random, violent robbery, while the police were focused on the physical crime scene. He was supposed to be in the background, digitally siphoning the crypto fortune. His plan was nearly perfect. He knew the victim's security protocols inside and out. He knew the passwords, the private keys, and the recovery phrases. He had planned it for months, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. But where was the victim? The partner confessed to the financial crime but swore he had nothing to do with the disappearance. He claimed he only wanted the money, not to harm his old friend. For a moment, it seemed the case had hit another wall. Was the partner lying? Or was there another piece to this puzzle? The answer, it turned out, was the most shocking twist of all. The victim was found, not by police, but by a private investigator hired by his family. He was alive and well, living under a new identity in a remote corner of the world. He had orchestrated his own disappearance, realizing his partner was about to betray him, and tired of the constant pressure and paranoia of his high-stakes life, he decided to vanish. He had secretly moved a small, untraceable portion of his own funds to a new, anonymous wallet. He then allowed the robbery to happen, making it the perfect cover for his escape. He let his former partner take the bait, knowing he would eventually be caught. In a final, brilliant move, the tech guru had outsmarted everyone, using his own kidnapping as the ultimate exit strategy. The crypto townhouse case wasn't just a story of a crime. It was the story of an escape. It reminds us that in the digital age, reality can be more complex and surprising than we could ever imagine. What do you think of this case? Let me know in the comments below.